All right, guys, welcome to this special edition. I'm super excited to have a very special guest that has agreed to join us today. I have actually been able to have a front row seat and kind of watch them grow, been able to answer kind of a lot of questions. I'm very proud. It's kind of interesting. We're at this place where she's getting on here and doing a training for me, and we had, and she'll probably agree, about a year ago, 6 months to a year ago, we had a conversation about getting out of your comfort zone, doing trainings, getting in front of your team, not having to be perfect. And now coming full circle, and I have asked this beautiful woman to come on and grace her with some of her knowledge with all of you guys. Please welcome you guys, Miss Nina Bird Platinum, 6-time gold, on her way to 1 star. She's going to be there. She's on that race too. Thank you so much, Nina, for joining us.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. I am so excited. Yes, I am hoping that I get to 1 star by the cutoff. That would be really cool. So, I just want to say thank you, for even inviting me. I absolutely love doing this now. And really because of you, 100%. When I heard it from you one time, I was like, oh, I need to really do this. Other people had told me, but for whatever reason, it didn't click until you and I had talked one time. So I have just a couple of things that I can share with you guys of things that I've been doing that have been working for me. So I created a group on Facebook
Are
pretty
you able
early
to?
on.
Hold on.
And it's called Becoming a Travel Agent, and I can show you guys that group. But if I had to do this over again, I would probably focus more on my page instead of my group. Because if you do get into Facebook marketing and Facebook ads, it is a little harder to drive traffic to your group. You cannot boost a post in a group like you can a page. It can be done, but you do have to take people off platform from Facebook onto like a landing page and then ask them to join your group. So you do lose quite a few people in that move there off a platform and back on. So if I had this to do over again, I would probably try to focus more on my page, because then you can just advertise your page, get people right to it, and then it's not an issue. One of the things, you know what, can I screen share?
You should be able to share your
Oh,
screen.
perfect. Okay. So let me show you guys. This is hold on,
Let me know
screen.
if it does it, and I'll give you.
Nope, it said I can't.
Okay, give me 1 second.
You're fine.
Uh,
I think you may just have to make me co-host or
yeah.
something.
Well, this one is weird. It doesn't have a co-host, so I just make you host. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see if we can do this. All right, share. Here we go. So I want to show you guys what I have done for my actual Facebook group. And this, what I'm going to show you works well for team building and booking travel, the attraction marketing that I get into. So this part here, this is my Becoming a Travel Agent group. Anybody can join this. I just ask that you don't try to solicit people out of the group, but you're more than welcome to join it and share anything that I ever post in it. I post just different things about who wants to be a travel agent. And then I do have links in here where it takes people to our landing pages, which is basically just kind of like a funnel to get their information. So like I'll post when we do Zooms and things like that, and I'll just post, like about being in Disney World and traveling so much, because I've been able to travel more now than I ever have in our entire life. So a lot of this things, and I'll post like funny graphics, cute graphics, things like that. So this post here, the feeling can't be explained, it must be experienced, is a Disney thing. This is Main Street down in Disney World. So what I'm going to show you is a way that I am able to sort of market myself without getting kicked out of Facebook groups. Because a lot of groups will kick you out if they think you're in there trying to solicit people to become agents or to book with you. So what I would do, let me show you guys this little Canva thing that I made. So basically, like, I can post anything in a group, and I changed my Nina Bird personal Facebook profile to a digital creator. So that's the first step that you want to do, because then you can post things like this. And you can see here that, like, when I took this screenshot, this picture had 18 reactions. People liked it, hearted it, thumbs up, whatever. When somebody makes a reaction on anything that I post online, I can then go in and invite them to like my page. So what they are doing is they're actually liking my personal page. So then you can see here, like, the progression of that. Like, here's where 13 people had liked it. So I go through and invite everybody. And then you can see here, like, someone accepted my invite to follow Nina Bird TA, which is my page. So then what I will do is I will come on my personal page and I'll post things in here about travel, become a travel agent. I'll always tag my becoming a travel agent group. If I was building my page, I would tag my page instead of my group, but I sort of abandoned my page a long time ago, and I'm only really focusing on, like, my actual group now. But anyone that's newer or hasn't spent so much time building a group, you could certainly do the same thing with a page. But I post things in here, and anytime, and you can see, like, a lot of my stuff is about travel. This graphic here, I cleared this with Ron Archer. He said it's fine to share. It was the night before a cruise we were gonna take, $79, and I saved $275. Now, I cropped out the Marriott Fantastic. I cropped out anything about Marriott. No one knows it's a Marriott rate. And so that's fine to share. And then let me see what else I posted on here recently. Here's one, like, I shared about something that one of my agents did on my team. And I actually had 2 people sign up for a Zoom directly off of this. I posted this about Becca made a group cruise. She got $35,000 sale. And I had 2 people that said that they always book their family cruises. And they are usually booking 10 to 15 staterooms. So I had 2 people that attended the Zoom. They haven't signed up yet. They're thinking about it, but I still had 2 people. They didn't attend the Zoom, sorry, they joined my group. And I'm hoping that I can get them into a Zoom, is what I meant. And then I just always post, like, little cute things about, like, you know, I don't bake, but I thought this was a neat idea, you know, stuff like that. Anything to just get people to engage with my post. Here, you know, 14 days again, we'll be back in Disney World. And a lot of people, like 60 people, reacted to this on my personal page. And so I'm hoping that these people would at some point maybe join my group, because that's my goal. And in the beginning, I would post a lot about, let me book your Disney trip, because I could book, I liked to book Disney trips. Now I don't book a lot of travel. I still will book a Disney trip, but mainly I just kind of focus on building my team. So let me show you this, and this looks a little bit different when you join from your phone. So this secret theme park group, I want to show you, like, how, and I don't know why they paused this group. It had a whole bunch of members, but you can see on here, this ended up with 105 reactions. So basically, I will invite every person. Now, when you look at it on your cell phone, you don't have these options to add everybody as a friend. You only have tons of options to invite them. So that's why I always do my invites from my cell phone, not ever from my laptop, which is what I'm on right now. And then let me show you on my group here. You can see the member requests. So here, this is a way that I'm able to, you know, kind of monitor, like, who's coming and joining the group. So here, this person has 24 groups in common. And I know if I post in here, like, I know if it's an agent coming in, if it's something like that. So this is not a great example. I had already let a bunch of people in the group this morning, but normally, like, if it'll say secret theme park group, then I know that these people are joining my group based on something they've seen on my personal page, not necessarily because we're in a mutual group together. hang on, let me show you this one more time. But on here, so where's it at right here? You get these notifications on your timeline and it says so-and-so accepted your invite. And I can show you some analytics like on my personal page, once you set up this digital creator, which I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really researched all of the, what this all means, but I know like I've had 286 new followers in the last 28 days. Like it's a rolling 28-day I guess dashboard. So, and I've been doing this now. I want to say I probably started really focusing on the attraction marketing back in like January or February. So I haven't really been doing it too long. But it'll tell you like how many people your posts have reached, what your account is there. Like this 14 days reached 1,000 people. I made I posted a funny thing here. This one got 1,386. It was basically just somebody, saying like when they walk into Disney World, like they're all emotional. So these are, just some of the analytics that you can pull and see which kind of posts do the best. When you see engagement, that means somebody actually liked or commented on your post. So that's nice. Anything that you can get like likes, comments, reactions, all of that stuff just pretty much drives people to whatever platform you're wanting to bring them onto. Let's see here. And then, so this is how we just do my personal page. I just will post every once in a while. I haven't posted yet today. We have a Zoom tonight at 7. So at some point in time today, I'm going to post something cute with travel related that just says, hey, we have another Zoom tonight. Here's the link if you would like to register for it. So normally I will put our funnel link on there. Yesterday, Randy had somehow like messed up the Calendly link, so I had to put the actual Zoom link. But normally, let me see if I can find one where I have the link that we use. This is it. So normally they have to click on Wish Upon a Travel Agent, Let's Chat. And that way that collects their information for me so I can text them and follow up with them later. The book, I don't know if you guys have seen my book. Trista, do you want me to get into that kind of stuff, like what I send to people?
I think
Or,
honestly, I think it would help because I think I think that people know to like post on their Facebook. Like I think they know to do that. I think that it's the, you know, how to funnel people to things or how to, and
okay.
so I think that that would be very helpful.
So I'll show you guys a copy here. Randy calls this my book. And he would say, Nina, no one's gonna read all that. Oh my God, that's so much information. In the beginning. So he was just like, no one's ever gonna read that. Well, several thousand people now have read this information, and I've actually seen this posted on groups from agents that I don't even know. And I absolutely love it because you guys can take anything I ever post, crop me out of it, change it up, do whatever you can do. But I love this. And so now Randy was supposed to edit this. There's actually 21 reasons why I picked Archer. And at the very bottom, I have, it says about Evo Plus. Just being like a great wholesale rate that we can take advantage of. And there's just a little spiel in there for number 21. But really, if I get somebody that's interested in becoming an agent, I did not do phone calls or Zooms or anything like that. I got to platinum without ever, I can probably count on one hand the number of phone conversations I actually had with people about becoming an agent. It wasn't my thing. I wasn't comfortable with it. I didn't do trainings on the cameras, anything like that, until super recently. So this worked for me religiously for over a year of this is how I would bring people on. I would get them interested with this information. And you guys could take this, and if you do you guys mind to shut that door? Thank you so much. So this here, and it works, like, and a lot of people read it, they like it, then they'll come back and ask me questions about it. I do list out a few of the companies we get discounts for. And then this is where you have to be careful. So I do not post this information on open social media. I will send this to people in a PM. They are able to get this after the fact, but you cannot post travel agent rates on open social media. I did that one time, got a phone call from Ron Archer. I was very embarrassed. I was really new though, and I didn't know that you weren't supposed to tell people that you paid $3,500 for your Disney cruise that should have cost 14,000. So I like literally posted it in a bunch of Disney groups, and travel agents were irate, and I really didn't understand what I did wrong. So I took it all down. And literally 4 days later, Ron called and was like, you can't make that kind of post. And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I took it down, within 4 hours of having it up, but screenshots live forever. And so someone had screenshotted it and sent it to Disney, and then, Ron called or whatever. So it is okay to discuss travel agent rates and things like that with people in private messages, just not on open social media. And then I give a couple commission examples, like if someone makes a $10,000 vacation versus if you make a $10,000 cruise, what the differences are there. I talk about the Marriott Fantastic rate a little bit, and then talk about if they want to sign up, this is what they do. And so then another thing I have in here is I have a link. Let me see if this works. This is a link to my Becoming a Travel Agent group. And it's not taking people to where it needs to go. Someone just told me this the other day, and I thought we had that fixed. But there's a part here, this post here. A lot of agents from my team chime in here and talk about like their experience. So it gives some real world like examples of people that are asking questions and getting answers from people other than me. So I definitely need to update that on my thing there. Let me see if I can get back now to the book. Anyway, so I definitely have to update that, but that's the idea, that they can get on there and read. I talk about how you can get a free cruise. Marriott has 2 travel agent rates for us. I go over some of the discounts you can get with Disney, Disneyland, and then I go over the cost. And a lot of people don't like to share that it's the 89 a month. I do, because I want people to know that right away. I don't want to, explain all this to somebody and then at the very end find out that then they can't afford it. So I do get that out right away. A lot of you may not put that information in there. I do, just because I feel like it weeds out people that truly can't afford it. And then something else that I do, I've never done a job board. So like all of my team building and all of that has all been from Facebook. I don't really do much on Instagram unless it's like something where Facebook copies it to Instagram. But no, like other social media, all of this is 100% from Facebook. I do all of that on typically private message or text message. I wasn't even really having team meetings until I talked to Krista, and she's like, Nina, you have to get in front of the camera. So I really have been trying to do that now. And I started doing, teaching a lot about the attraction marketing and stuff. And that's really, truly working, because I can sneak into some of these groups. Let me show you one here. And this has nothing to do with being a travel agent at all. This is just getting people to like my page. That's it. So this one here, you can see I had 18 people that reacted to this. It was just a funny thing, like we're increasing the rent. Well, this one here has over 2,000 people that liked it. So literally I invited over 2,000 people to like my personal page. And this morning I had 3 people join my group for Becoming a Travel Agent, that this group was a mutual group that I had in common with them. So I know that this is working. But literally like over 2,000 people responded to this. And so then the ones that do accept the invite and that do like my page, let me see if there's any on my notifications here. It'll pop up and tell you on here, but On my laptop, it only goes back so many notifications. On my cell phone, I can scroll back farther. But it'll say like so-and-so accepted your invite. So all these here where it says like someone commented, someone reacted, all of 52 people reacted to something, 53 people reacted to something in this group. These are all people, like when I get up from my desk, I'm gonna go sit on my couch on my cell phone and I'm gonna invite people. We were on a road trip the other day and I handed my cell phone to Lily, my daughter, and she actually clicked invite on probably 200 of these people for this specific graphic right here. But I do this in quite a few groups. So it looks a little different on the phone, but I can show you this one. So for these 45 people, I'll go through and invite all these people right now. Now on my cell phone, it looks different. So I'm going to go through and do this on my phone too when I get on the couch, but this is the general idea of what I'm trying to do here. And then hopefully sometime when they get this notification that says Nina invited you to follow her Nina Bird TA page, they might. And then part of what you can do with your page is you can highlight when you make a post. Let me show you guys this. So you can do @ and then followers. And then you have to make sure that you're selecting your page because there's a lot of people that call their page followers and you don't want to accidentally tag them. So you can tag your followers and then you can also do a highlight, which mine might not pop up because I did one last night. Yeah. So, oh, here it is. You can use this 3 times a week. On your page. And so tonight, when I go to post my, I'm gonna get on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule though for the highlight, so I won't do that part tonight. But when I do go to post, and I think you can do followers once a day. Let's see if it says, it didn't say, but I'm almost positive you can do once a day for followers. And so that basically just someone will get a pop-up and it'll say, hey, Nina Bird added some content you might find interesting. Click here to see what it is. And then hopefully somebody will see a tag for my Becoming a Travel Agent group, or they might join our Zoom, or they might request the information from my book. And so then it's just more ways that I can nurture those leads and hopefully turn those people into agents. Do you guys have questions for me? Let me stop this screen share
Just
real quick.
one thing real quick. So I just want to make sure that I have so you're having them, whatever group you find, you post something in even a non-related travel agent group.
Absolutely.
And then when they like it, you invite them to, when you click that invite button, it invites them to follow you, right? Not friend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure it was follower. So then they end up following your personal page.
Yes.
And then they end up seeing posts on your personal page that then sends them to your group.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had those steps right. And then once they're in the group, that's when then they're starting to see.
Yep. Let me share again. I'll show you guys some
I just want to make
examples.
sure like I'm,
Yeah. Nope,
because
that's it.
your Zoom meetings, like you don't do like a typical presentation, or do you now?
So kind of what we do now, it's still a little bit different. Randy does do like a few slides where like he'll show, like he's got one of us meeting like Dave at the convention, and he's got one of like him meeting Charles, and he talks about how, like when I was new and I was trying to learn information, Randy's like, I want to talk to the highest ranking person that I possibly can. And obviously that was Charles. So he said, I messaged him and I, was not even expecting a message back. But Charles called him and we were at Disney World, and I'll never forget because I was sitting there and I'm like, what's he saying? What's he saying? Randy's like, you should have called, but I didn't do phone calls. I don't do that. And so Randy's on the phone with them, and he's really, really awesome. And, just talking to Randy and explaining things. And it was just a really awesome thing that somebody that is that highest rank in our company will take a phone call from somebody that they have no idea who it is, someone not on their team, not in their lineage at all. And there's so many leaders in the company that are willing to do that. So that's part of what Randy hits on in our Zoom. So it is a little bit different. It's not, it's more like, laid back and more of a question and answer session. So we don't go through like all the corporate slides and all of that. Like it's really short, and then more of like a Q&A. And some of my agents will hop on there and they'll unmute and talk about, like how great the team is, how great the company is, places we can get discounts. One of my agents is in Disney World now, and he hopped on and was, like showing around Animal Kingdom, like in Pandora Land. And then people are like, oh my God, I would love to go there. And then Brian's like, well, if you're a travel agent, you get these amazing rates. And, so ours is like pretty informal. It works for us right now.
Well, it's because you're pretty much giving them all the meat and the potatoes in that book. Now, do you ever
Absolutely.
have people that don't read the book and they show up to the Zoom and they don't know squat?
Yes. And we had one last night. A lady joined and she said, well, I just think I have a better deal where I'm at because it's not $90 a month, and I'm like, okay, perfect, great. That's awesome. I hope it works for you. Have a great day. And then she messaged me after the Zoom and said, but I don't know how to get my CLIA card. And I said, well, does your agency let you have it on day one? And she said, I don't know. And I said, okay. So then she messaged me back again and she said, that not only is she locked in a 1-year contract, but they won't give her her CLIA card until she sold $5,000 in travel.
You want to
And
know something
until
funny?
she's paid 5,000. And
Very interesting that you say that because I'm not going to say we're not going to say names, but I actually spoke to somebody recently. They're actually not allowed to where they're at. They're not allowed to utilize travel agent rates until they've sold $100,000 worth of travel.
yes, it's crazy. And so
I
this
was like,
lady, she's beside herself now. And on our Zoom, she was kind of like, I wouldn't say she was rude, but she was just like, well, I have a better deal where I'm at. Well, great. That's perfect for you. I'm happy for you. I did a ton of research before I settled on Archer. I really felt like it was the best deal for my family, and it's been perfect for me. But
mhm.
then later on, she's messaging me and she's like, oh my God, and I'm in a contract. Okay, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know what to even really respond because, we don't have a contract. And, if you can get out of that, absolutely come on over. You can have your CLIA card on day one if you want it. Some people wait till 2 weeks in, some people don't ever get it, but if you want it on day one, you can have it with no sales quotas. And so those are kind of things that we bring up a lot in our Zooms. And Randy does the Zooms. Like I chime in at the end, I'll show like some screen shares of, different like that rate I showed you from my cruise and stuff like that. But he was the leading force behind the Zooms because I just was never
Randy's
interested.
not afraid. I've seen him. He's not
Yes,
afraid to get on the camera.
not at all. He is like, bring them, post this everywhere type person.
Yeah.
So my goal in it though now, like since I turned my page in, and one day Facebook popped up and said, would you like to become a digital creator? And I said, sounds great,
I
because
think
most of
mine's a
the
digital
time,
creator too.
yes, when
I'll give it.
Facebook asks like, do you want to do this? So for a perfect example, like this becoming a travel agent group of mine, one day Facebook said, would you like to create a chat in your group? Sure. I had 30 agents that month, like within probably just a couple of weeks that joined because of the chats. The chats are a little stagnant right now, like at this season of my life, but literally, and at one point in time, the chats were like popping and people were signing up for Zooms and signing up for the book because I could tell. And I was just like, oh my God, this is great. So anything Facebook suggests, I do. And then one day Facebook said, would you like to schedule posts in your group? So all these posts right here, like, so once a day, I set my group up to make a post. And it automatically does it. I don't have to worry about it. And then I'll go through and post things myself. But I think I set that up in February. So for 29 days of the month right now, I have content that's already posting on my wall of my group. And then every month it'll repeat itself. And I use, 30 different graphics. So it's not the same graphic all the time. And then Facebook said, would you like to do a welcome post to welcome members to your group? Absolutely. So I set that up and let me show you guys one of those. And that is basically where, here it is. Anytime the group hits, I think this is set now for 50 people. So see, and here's my 21 reasons, and
Mhm.
I talk about Evo Plus in it. But anytime the group like hits a threshold of 50 agents, one of these pop up, and it basically tags every single person that joined with like a welcome post. And then sometimes people will comment, and I'll say like, welcome to the group. And, so my goal is to get these people to read the book if they haven't yet, or to join a Zoom. That's my goal in this group. And I'm able to drive people to this group organically from joining these other groups. So here's another one. Let me think of one that I had. I showed you guys the one that was the toxic one. I wish I could remember what group I had that in. It was a female. It was either one of these female problems or female club groups. I posted, let me see if I have one in there. This one, oh my God, this one where it's called Pop Not Soda. I posted this in like, I don't even know how many groups, but I have had so many people that laugh at this, heart it, whatever. So I posted this like one night. I posted, and you got to be careful posting in groups. Don't ever post in more than like maybe 10 inside of 5 or 10 minutes. Give yourself a break because you can end up in Facebook jail. And that is terrible when that happens. I'm like completely not able to do anything when that happens. Let me see if this one. And a lot of groups have, post approval turned on where you don't know like if your posts are actually going to be published or not. And so those groups, like that female group I just went in, if those 2 posts don't get approved pretty soon, I would just leave the group because I'm not going to keep posting in it and worry that it's not going to get approved. Let's see if this is one of these I had. It was just this funny thing, like from the National Park Service. And it was like, don't go chasing waterfalls. And it was just this like funny thing. And it was like off Twitter where they actually posted like, don't go chasing waterfalls, and it was so funny. And I had like 150 different likes on that, but that's the goal. And so, even if it is not anything to do with travel, like this perfect example, 2,100 people liked this. um just any interactions that you can get on social media, I think are golden. Because those people, and I have people now joining to be a travel agent that have been in my group for a year and a half, and they message me like, hey, I've been a lurker, I'm ready now, whatever. And then another thing that I also do, which helps me with team building, is I don't take people out of my group. I used to in the beginning, I was told like, oh, you have to remove them if they're not an active agent. And so I have like a travel agent group. I don't take them out of that anymore. And the reason why is because I'm hoping that somebody might see something that induces them to reactivate later. And so I get a lot of people that may have dropped off that end up coming back. So that's good too. That's just another little tip that I do.
You do have some questions I'm going to just read it for you.
Question.
So Perla asked, just curious, do you feel like that is a lot of information at once where you might lose people where they may not read the whole thing when it comes to the book? It sounds like
Yes.
Randy kind of felt that way too.
Yes. And so Randy was like, Nina, no one's going to read all this. And I'm like, you know what? If they don't, they don't. But this is back when like I would not do Zooms. I don't do phone calls. Like, I mean, there's got to be a terrible emergency for me to make a phone call. And like, because and I don't know what it is, like I'm so much better at texting or Facebook messages than I ever am at phone calls. Like since I've been on this Zoom, my kids have been in the office like 3 times, literally in 37 minutes. So when I'm on the phone, make that 4. Okay, thank you. Make that 4 times. Bella, shut that door, please. Thank you. I know, but I don't want them in here on a Zoom. Thank you.
I love kids.
Yeah, we have a bunch. And we have 7 dogs, and I have a very loud parrot. Her name is Elsa, and she screeches and screams a lot. So it's just for me to get on Zooms is kind of, or not, even Zooms, but phone calls and stuff is crazy. Hold on. Sorry. Randy just messaged me and was like, did you just request access to your own book? Like, yes, I did, so I could show people. Um, but you know, and I do find that like a lot of people do read it. They really do. And so if it ever became an issue where maybe it was too long, now that I am doing Zooms, I could probably cut it down a little bit. But I mean, we've had, and Randy has like some analytics. If you guys ever see me post anything like in the Evo groups or whatever about Randy's doing a training, he's got like some hardcore numbers. He's a numbers guy. And so basically like he can take my retention. So overall, I have enrolled 700 agents and I still have like 450 that are active. Well, ish. So there's some numbers in there, like he can say, you know, okay, based on my Facebook group size of being 7,000 people, you know, I'm getting 10% of those people to become agents. And then after that is like my own retention, like what I'm retaining from them, which is like usually right around 60%, is like what I'm retaining that are actually like staying on long term. So there's like some numbers. So any of you guys that have like large social media followings, if you know any, you know, like influencers or these kind of people that have these huge followings, if they can become agents and get passive income from building a team, you know, and traveling and all of that, like Randy reaches out to, I don't do this, but he will reach out to people with like 1 million followers on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and, you know, be like, hey, do you guys want to be travel agents? And I'm like, oh, God, you know, but it works out. And so just it's like a numbers game in there about how many eyes you have like looking at your content. So I think I want to say he says it's about 10% based on like the size of my Facebook group. And then something about like the retention, like when he figures out the retention, it ends up being like a certain percentage and he checks it every single month and it's always the same. Like within, you know, a very small margin, it's always the same numbers. So
Okay, perfect. And the next question was, what is the funnel link you use for them to schedule, or does it go straight to Calendly?
So we used to use Calendly, and then now we have a service. It's like a funnel type thing. It's called Go High Level. I'm not 100% sure. Like we use it for our other business. We own a dog training facility, and this is the technology that we use for that. So our other business, interested people will schedule like a phone call, kind of like an evaluation over the phone. So we were using this service to collect their information and schedule them for their like eval phone call. So we have started using this to schedule to get their information and then schedule them for a group Zoom call. And it's really user friendly for us. I don't know like how intricate it is to set up necessarily. I feel like Randy had all of it done like within a day or two, but it has taken the place of Calendly because it has its own like scheduling function. And so it will send out reminder text messages. Like if any of y'all want to get on the workflow, just go on and request the book. And then you can always hit stop to like, you know, decline the messages or whatever, but it puts people into a workflow. So like every few days they might get a message that says, you know, hey, I'm so sorry. We've been, you know, traveling the world and in Disney World. I didn't mean to like not respond, you know, something like that. Like, where he basically kind of sets this thing up where people get so many contacts before we mark them as like a dead lead. And it's called Go High Level. And you can white label it, like you could change it where it doesn't, I don't think it says high level or whatever, like when it's messaging your people, like it's all based off your landing page or whatever.
Is that what you were talking? Is that what you had typed in your information? So then so you put that information, it captures your information, then gives you access to the book.
Yep, let me put my Facebook page on here in the chat real quick. If you guys go to my Facebook page, one of the very first things you'll see is like a link to my group, or you'll have either one of those links to the book or the Let's Chat link. Y'all can sign up for that and see like how the workflow is. It's only me and Randy that ever have access to your phone numbers or whatever, but you can always hit stop too, like if you don't want to keep getting the text messages, but that'll kind of show you like how the workflow goes. And then y'all can join the group too. And then I also have a team building group where I share like really cute graphics that are like catchy. I haven't posted in there in a minute. It's called Team Building with Nina and Randy. Y'all can join that. And anything that I ever post, you can have. Even if it's got my logo on it, if you can find a way to blur it out, I would not be offended. Just take it, share it. I don't even care if you share it with my logo. But if you want to crop it out, I would never mind. So I post some things in there and I need to update. I have a ton more graphics now that I can post in the team building group too. But anything in there, it's like who wants to be a travel agent, or, travel agents can, travel the world at a discount, those kind of things.
Nice. Anybody, let's see. Janelle, so do you do a group Zoom of your own or send them to so that, I think that's what she was saying, Janelle, is she doesn't do, like, because she's given so much information already, her Zooms that she's doing are more like a Q&A, if I understand that right. Like, it's
Yep.
more of a like, okay, you've already read the book, you've already kind of got most of the information. Now this is a time for you to kind of hear from us, ask questions, maybe talk to other agents. So it's not just your perspective, it's other people's, I think is
Yep.
is kind of what you were saying.
Yeah, and y'all can hop on a Zoom anytime. We do them usually Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We have all kinds of people hop on from all different teams, and just kind of hear how we do things. And it's worked pretty well for us. My whole team is pretty much self-made. I think I have 2 people that are bronze, out of all 450. And then I do have some that are silver, but they're people that I helped become silver because it helped me get a gold. But otherwise, like I pretty much have like over 400 people that are direct to me somehow, like either me, Randy, my parents, my mom and dad are travel agents. So it's definitely a lot, but like the book thing has worked very well for me for like a year and a half.
And then have you ever done, and I know this is something that I see a lot, and I don't know if you do it or not, but there's a lot of people that do like sponsored ads on Facebook, or they use a typical funnel, meaning like you click on a post and it leads you to another page, it leads you to another page, it leads to another page that eventually,
Absolutely.
have you ever done that?
So last year we did, and right now, like today, we have a Facebook ad running. The only other time we did ads was last summer. We ran an ad. I want to say he ran it for 60 days. But like he's playing with the numbers and he really thinks that organically we're able to get the same amount of thing. So let me show you guys, there's a Facebook group. I want to say I paid $60. Let me find this real quick. But there's some groups where you can pay to like post things in them. Oh, I'm not screen sharing anymore. Hold on, let me share this group with you guys. And so this is just an example. I paid 60, it might have been $67. It was a weird amount that I paid to post in this group. And it's like a lifetime thing. I don't have to keep paying every month. Let me see here. These are just the kind of things I post in there. Hold on. Like I just started doing this month. This cruise, I'll pack on my bags. This post right here, I posted this in every cruise group I could find. And I'm not even kidding. I got thousands of reactions out of this. I was posting this in every cruise group I could find for like 3 days in a row about a month ago. So this is a perfect example of, an attraction post that, if someone has a very successful Royal Caribbean group and they're a travel agent, I can post this in there and they're going to approve it because it doesn't look like I'm trying to get people to come and book their cruises with me, or I'm not recruiting in their group. I forgot to show you guys that. So that's an amazing example there. But this group here, like I think I paid, and when you get on there, you can, find like the admins or whatever, but there's a lot of larger groups, that might let you pay like 30 or $40, to post in them. If you do this one, the guy's name, this is Itachi, whatever. This is the person you would want to message to get the link to pay or whatever. And I want to say it was like $47 or $67, but it's like a lifetime. And they basically just turn on post pre-approval. So nothing has to go into like waiting for an admin to approve it. But other than that, like I really haven't done much with the Facebook ads. There was one I boosted one time, completely messed up my audience and everything. Like I thought I was gonna spend $50, and I told Randy, I'm like, so Facebook was saying I needed to increase my ad spend, so now it's up to like 150 and I don't know what to do. And he was like, oh my God, that's just like Facebook trying to get more money. You don't have to do that. Like you could have just left it at 50 and it would have been fine. So I stopped with like all of the advertising and ads. He's running one right now because he just wants to see like if we really are doing this organically, or if it would be beneficial to run some ads. And I'm not opposed to spending money to grow the team at all. Like it now, when I was very first starting and new and, didn't have all these gold accounts and platinums, I was really conservative with what I could spend money on. So, I found a few groups where I could, like, there was a Royal Caribbean group that I paid $100 a month to be able to post in. And then I did that for a while. And then Disney groups, a lot of those you can pay to post in. I've had a lot of success with Disney because like I really love Disney. And so I can't even tell you how many Disney groups I'm in, but what I've done is I've played around with the groups that I have where you post and it doesn't require an admin. Because then you can slide in like a really cute Disney meme or, something like that. You're not going to have to wait for them to approve it. So I don't want to spend a lot of my time posting in these groups because you can end up in jail if you post in too many groups at once. So I'm only going to post in the ones where I know they're going to hit the wall right away. And I'll usually post like anytime between like maybe 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern time. And I just keep track of like what groups I know I can post cute Disney things in for likes and reactions. And then I really like think it's working though.
No, for sure. Any more questions? I have one more question for you, but I want to get anybody that has any questions for Nina. Don't be shy.
Yes, don't.
And if you would like to unmute, you can, if that's easier. Nobody more questions? Okay, so my final question to you is for anybody who is feeling maybe a little down or uninspired or feels like they've hit a wall every turn they've taken. I think that we've all like obviously like I've hit a wall or I've had difficulties or I've had things. I think sometimes it's important for agents to hear that we've all been there, we've all done that. It's kind of like telling your kids, like, look at, I had to fall off the bike 14 times before I learned to ride it too. But they don't believe it because they think that you're just Wonder Woman and you just got on the bike and you knew how to ride it. And so I don't know if you have time, but to kind of explain your journey, kind of maybe some, let's face it, we have some difficulties and some hills and valleys.
Absolutely. So when I first started, I had trouble like getting plugged into everything. I don't come from the same lineage and team that you guys do. And I was struggling really bad in the beginning. I felt like Jose was like the face of Archer. And that was really all I knew. I didn't know about the corporate groups. I didn't know about all of this. And so I had called him multiple times and I was so close to quitting. because I knew I wasn't plugged in where I needed to be and I was really struggling. And so I had no interest in building a team whatsoever. I really didn't have any interest in booking travel. I just wanted to book my own travel. But I couldn't figure out how to do it. So I really was struggling a lot in the beginning. I literally had no interest in building a team. I wouldn't even listen to it. I wouldn't attend a Zoom about it. I had no interest in that whatsoever. And when I would log into the back office, I would see that there was a corporate team building call on Mondays, and I would see that Charles Power Hour was on Wednesday. And so the very first Power Hour I listened to, it was all like motivational, mindset training and all that. And I'm like, oh, I don't need any of that. So I didn't do that for a couple more weeks. Well, then I started, Jose was like, are you doing the trainings? Are you logging into the Facebook Lives? And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying. Well, then I realized like somebody had said, oh, well, Charles was talking about using shortcuts on your iPhone or something like during one of his power hours. And I was like, maybe I really should start listening to this. So I really started getting myself plugged into all these trainings. And then I had my episode where I didn't accidentally post, I posted about my Disney cruise. I was so excited about this cruise. So I posted in a Disney group that had like 1 million members that, oh my God, you guys, everybody should be a travel agent. I just booked a cruise for $3,500 and it should have cost 14,000. Well, all of a sudden, these travel agents were like coming out of the woodwork, like, you can't post this, you can't post this. Well, I didn't realize that like you're not supposed to do that. I just thought it was the greatest thing ever. So I deleted it within 4 hours. But it was something that literally like Ron called me 4 days later and I was horrified. And I said, oh my God, I am so sorry. Like I took it down almost immediately, and he said, oh, that's fine. I just found out about it, as long as it's down, no harm, no foul, just don't ever do that again. Well, things like that, like I didn't know that you shouldn't do that. And so I didn't do anything for like 2 weeks after that. I didn't post anything. Well, I did have people messaging me, like, how did you get that rate? So that's how my team building actually started because a couple people saw that post and wanted to find out how they got those rates. So then I really had to start digging into how do I even get people to sign up? Like I didn't have any idea. So one by one, I started signing people up and I structured things incorrectly. Unfortunately, I was told the wrong way to do a couple things, and that's all been fixed now. It was a huge setback for me, and I lost a lot of money and a lot of ranks, but now I have all of that back. But we all kind of have setbacks, and you'll hit these walls, and literally I am from a small town in Kentucky, and if I can be a platinum agent here, then anybody can do this. Like it is been completely life-changing for me. And I literally do this one agent at a time. I got really sick in like December of 2022, and I was already a gold by then. I had 2 gold accounts by December of 2022. And I was really, really sick. And I spent like 13 days in the hospital and I didn't really do a whole much. I wasn't posting, I wasn't doing anything, but I still got paid. So that was like huge for me because I could take a month off from doing anything and I still was making income. And now, like my daughter and I, well, maybe 2 of my kids, I don't know, one of them's wishy-washy if she's going or not. We're going to fly down to Miami on Thursday of this week to like go see Daniel G and then come back home next week. We don't know what day we're coming home. I don't have any of that planned out. But, as an agent, I know I can do things like that. Like I can find a hotel, I can travel, I can do this. And we're coming back home. And our only decision is, when are we coming back home? Are we coming back home on Tuesday or Thursday? Because we got to leave Saturday to go back to Disney World for a week. And this is like a life that I could never have imagined even a year ago and 2 years ago, just that it's March and I have been on 6 different trips already this year. And I've been to Cancun and I've spent 18 days in Orlando already. And I'm going back for another 7. And literally all of this stems from one person at a time, like one contact at a time. Um, And I don't do anything like on a massive scale. Like when I had that Facebook chat open up and I had all those people at one time wanting to sign up, I was just like, oh my God, because normally it's very laid back. It's really slow. Like I'll do 1 or 2 people a day, maybe 1 or 2 people a week. Like there's been plenty of times where I don't sign up anybody. Maybe I'm traveling and I'm just not posting like I usually do. But, if anybody feels unmotivated, hop on a power hour, hop on a training. Those corporate trainings now, we didn't have all those when I started. That's amazing to be able to have. And I get on every one I possibly can, even now, because there's always something that I can learn and I want to learn from all the leaders. So anytime I see anything I can possibly hop on, I'll join from my cell phone. I'll stay muted in the car, don't turn my camera on type thing. And I get on everything I possibly can. Especially like any of the corporate trainings, any of the Rising Tide trainings, any of those.
No, for sure. And I think that's huge. I think one thing that people they want to hit rank super quick.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've always said is that if you build fast, you lose fast.
Yes.
And so if you are building slow and by the fact that you brought in 1 or 2, here, there, wherever, you
Yep.
are really able to work with that agent to make sure they stay, right?
Yes.
If you're bringing in 10 agents a day,
Oh yeah.
7 days a week, you're
Yep.
gonna lose a big portion of those because you aren't able to work with them and plug them in properly. Um,
100%.
and that really speaks to retention.
Yep.
Plus, you're telling these agents like how much there is and how much support there is and all of these things, but they're getting lost in the shuffle.
Yep.
And I think sometimes people see, let's just say, on the monthly call with David, right? And they'll see somebody I brought it, they just one account, they brought in 37 people. And unfortunately, what happens with some people is they see, well, that person brought in 37 people and I brought in 3 people. I'm not good enough, right? We have that self-negative talk,
Yep.
right? I'm not good enough. So I'm not hitting 37. So I'm just going to quit.
Yep. No.
But,
Oh my God. No. Yep. Slow
but
and
what so many people don't see is of those 37, how many stayed.
yes.
And I don't mean to talk trash on anybody, but more to tell people like not to quit because
Yeah.
they might have brought in 37, you might have brought in 3, but your 3 are real sticky.
Yep.
They're not going anywhere.
Yep. And, a lot of people will hit a rank and then lose it. They'll hit a rank and then they'll lose it because they don't have the retention. And it sucks because you're losing money and you're losing team. And so like for me, the team aspect of this was huge because I didn't really have that. So now my team, like I make sure that nobody on my team ever feels left behind. I don't want anybody on my team to ever have to call Jose, and ask like, hey, how do I do this? Because now, like, I know how to help people. I know how to say, well, hey, if you want to book your Disney, this is what we do. But I didn't when I first started. And so, I think a huge part of the retention is also just being, making sure, you don't have to necessarily be accessible. I am. I will answer people 24/7. But they also have chats now where they can ask their questions in the chat. And so I will direct my agents, hey, we have these 3 group chats, 2 on Discord, 1 on Facebook, if you can ask questions in there, because there's 50 people that might be live in that chat versus just my inbox. And y'all, my inbox is insane sometimes. And I'm not kidding, but I will, like, I'll sit there and mess. And so I noticed yesterday, I was going to bed and I didn't have any agents sign up yesterday. It just wasn't a day where, I didn't have anybody that I sent the link to. And literally I was going to bed and at like 12:15, I was laying in bed. Someone messaged me and said, is it too late to sign up? Absolutely not. Here, let me send you the link, So I signed her up. I got her, I'm doing like a new onboarding process with like a start.me page. That's something new that Sarah Rogers is into, and that's a fabulous idea.
That's
And so
what
I
we, so
that
Our agent Sukina, she did a training on Start Me. And then Sarah and I were like, oh man,
I
and so
need
Sarah
that
and I turned it
training.
into
Yeah,
onboarding. It's amazing.
that is fabulous. I'm so excited about that. Like I'd never even heard of it. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's genius. And so I sent her, actually, she's the second person I sent it to. I sent it to somebody the day before yesterday. But so I got her signed up. As soon as she had her agent ID, I was able to fire that message off to her with the start.me page. And then she's already done like 6 of the things I list on there by noon today. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that is just amazing. And so, any resources that I can learn, like I would have never known about that if Sarah hadn't shared it with me. Those are things, too, like the more people that you can follow in this business, like if you guys saw my followers, hold on, I'm going to show you this. Are we stopping or
You're
am I
good.
okay talking? Okay. So this is a huge thing here. I follow 7,000 people on Facebook. I follow everybody I can because I hope Facebook's algorithms are going to put people in front of me that I want to see their content. So I have 5.5 K followers, but I'm following 7.2. And so every leader in this business, I guarantee you I am following. If I'm not friends with them, I'm following them because I'm hoping that maybe they're going to drop some nuggets of information on their Facebook page and Facebook will show that to me. And so that's my goal in my attraction marketing I'm doing now is that maybe Facebook, because I'm my own best client
Mm-hmm.
personally. Like me, I love to travel. I have kids, I have dogs. I am the kind of person that I want to recruit. And that's why I never got into the job boards because I just look for people that love to travel. So, my best client is going to be somebody with a little bit of disposable income where that $90 a month is not going to hurt them, to pay. And that's kind of worked for me. And that's all I really do is like go after people that love to travel because I really feel like every person should be a travel agent if they travel. I mean, because people that travel know other people that travel. And I mean, I could book 10 Disney trips a week with all the people that like come to me for Disney questions. I really could. And in the beginning, I did. I booked a ton of Disney travel. Now if somebody messages me and wants to book a Disney trip, my instinct is not to book that myself. It's to see if I can help that person become an agent.
Mm-hmm.
Because then not only can they get a discount, then they might know other people that go to Disney. So like my whole mindset has switched on, should I book this travel or would it help this other person to be a travel agent? Because I wish somebody would have shared this with me 15 years ago, when I was traveling with all these little kids. I had young kids, and I mean, we were going to Disney 2 and 3 times a year, paying full price. I didn't know any different. So that's part of my team building is just making sure that I'm connecting with every person that I possibly can. And I think and part of it gets redundant, it gets kind of like, oh my gosh, because my inbox gets crazy, but it literally takes me most of the time less than 30 seconds to respond to somebody. So I just do, like, and if it's a question that I know they could have asked in a different chat and maybe I didn't see it for like an hour or two, I'll say, hey, I'm so sorry. I just saw this. Next time, if you ask in one of the group chats, you probably could get an answer much quicker. I was out with the kids or I was driving, whatever. But I don't ever care to answer people. I have people messaging me, day in and day out. And maybe there will be a time in my life where I'm just done with that. And I'm like, I'm not answering people, but that's not right now. I don't mind at all. Like I have people message me all the time that aren't even on my team. And that's important to me that I can help other people because if it hadn't been for people like Charles and Krista and Marnie and all these people that helped me, I would have quit. So if I can ever help any of you, my inbox is always open. Ask away.
No, for sure. And it's so interesting because it's interesting. I tell my team all the time, everybody joins this business for whatever reason they join it. And I am very much a make this business what you want to make it. And for me, when I started this business, I too love to travel. I tell people all the time, this was a hobby. I had
Yeah.
no intent to build a team. I was like, yeah, I might book some travel here and there for other people, but I had no intent on this business being what it is for me today. And and it's so interesting when I hear other people who are very much like me, because when, people do presentations or they do I call it the pitch, right? So many people want to come from just a place of making a lot of money, right? Let's make a lot of money booking travel for other people. And I'm like, man, if the presentation I had gone on, that's all they talked about, you
Oh,
never would have had a Crystal Wiley.
nope.
Because what triggered me in the presentation was travel, discounts on travel, right? Like tax write-offs, like all of those things. That's what got me. Right. And so it's so important that when you're looking at, onboarding these different people, that you're really grabbing and you're pitching to everyone, people that want to be travel agents, people
Mhm.
who, or not travel agents, because some people don't even know they exist, but people who want to save money on travel, people who need some extra tax write-offs, some people that are like, man, I've never traveled and now I can travel, people who
Yep.
want side money, people, and so really plugging into and tapping into all of those different people is very important. So I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one, right? There would
Yes, I would not have, I mean, and that is one great thing about the people that brought me into this business. They never pushed team building at all because I promise if they would have, I would have been gone. Like I had to seek out that information because I was just like, oh, nope, I have no interest in any of that, and then now this has legitimately changed our life. And I'm like so like amazed by this. And literally like you are the reason that I started doing team meetings. And I had my first one in February after the birthday party and I had done a couple of trainings before that because you had said, you got to get on the camera, you have to do this. And so I was doing that and I had probably done like 3 or 4 trainings since we had chatted. And then at the birthday party, we were talking about the team meetings. And I promise you, Randy has mentioned it. Other leaders have said like you need to have team meetings. And I even had one like last year in like probably August, but it just didn't click until the birthday party. And for some reason, hearing it then, like in person, I was just like, why am I not doing this? And now we do it. I've had an amazing turnout. I gave away a Clea card for the first one because I thought, no one's going to join this unless I like am giving away something big. And they really did, and they loved it. So I'm really excited about that whole aspect of it. And I would have never done that if you hadn't said, like, you need to do team meeting.
everybody, I tell people all the time, I'm like, and Nina's proof because I told Nina to do it. We had conversations at convention last year. And so she
Yes.
kind of started, and then we had a conversation at birthday party, and I'm like, just do it. It's gonna feel weird and awkward. Just get in front of the camera. But I tell my agents, I don't care if you're silver, I don't care you're gold, you're like, mark your team. Mark your
Yes.
team. That sounds really funny. At silver, name your team. What's your
Yep.
team name? Right? Team whatever, right? That's your team. Guess what? There's 9 of us, but we're 9 people, mighty and strong. We're gonna get together and you're gonna build that culture. If you start building that culture at 9 people, those 9 people are going to continue the culture with their 9 people, and
Yep.
they're going to continue that culture with their 9 people. So you you create that culture, you have those team meetings, you get in front of people, right? And then they so on and so forth. So when you get to gold, now it might be that you have a team meeting and there's one person that's on. Cool. Guess what? Next time there's going to be 2.
Yep.
Next time there's going to be 5. Like, but don't not do it. And I'm saying it out loud, and my team knows that I love them to the moon and back. But there are golds that are on this line that don't have team meetings.
Do it. Do the team meetings. I'm telling you, it is so funny that she brings this up because Randy has said, he'll tell me things, but they don't resonate with me all the time. Like you have to hear things more than once before they really stick in there. And so one of the things I didn't talk about team building to my team. You could count on one hand the number of posts I ever made about bringing on other agents until after the birthday party. And now I'm posting about it more often. I always kept the payouts updated in there and I always post like, hey, these are the payouts in case someone wanted to know. But now, like, you know, we are bringing it up. I'm bringing it up to people and it's working. Like, so I have 2 agents now that are, bronzes, and then a couple of my silvers have actually added in a second account so that they can build now themselves, which is awesome. Because I didn't have that before. Like, no one was actively building or looking for other people. But just hearing it at the birthday party and talking to people again, you know, Randy's like, Nina, I've been telling you this for a year, you know, like, most people don't get to platinum on their own. Most people don't get to gold on their own, you know, and like, and he's like, you know, if you want to get to 1 star, yes, you can, I can do it on my own. It might take me a longer time though than if I had some help. And so, you know, to get to 2 star and, you know, 3 star and above, I'm going to need help from my team, you know, like I want to share this with other people now, where before I was like, no, I don't want them to feel like I'm pushing them into team building or whatever. I swear to God, if there's agents on my team that can make $10,000 a month because of how they structure themselves, it's a sin for me not to share that information with them. That's how I feel about it now. And I didn't feel that way before. I felt like, you know, well, I didn't want to say I was gold or I didn't want to say I was platinum because I didn't want anybody to feel like, you know, that's and I don't say that as like bragging or anything like that. This has changed our life. And I feel now that like I should share this information with other people about how it can change theirs. So
No,
something
for
else
sure.
I learned from you at the birthday party.
No, for sure. And that's the thing, like, and I tell people, I said, all you have to do is you don't have to, I'm not a pushy person either. First of all, I have a team building chat. That's where we talk about team building. If you choose to be in my team building chat, you're going to hear about team building, right?
Mhm.
But I even tell my people that are starting, you know, that are starting to grow and they have a team, I'm like, ask them if they're very in a conversation, asking them their goals and asking how to do things. That's when you say, hey, you know, while you're talking about, have you ever thought about eliminating your monthly?
Yes.
And it's not even like a, hey, are you interested in earning a residual paycheck? No, 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 no. Let's go from the very ground level. Are you interested in eliminating your monthly? Oh, wait, there's a way to eliminate my monthly? Yeah.
Mhm.
All and that's where that plug in is. Now, very rarely do people stop at bronze. Very
Yep.
rarely, right? And so I think I too, I had that like icky, I didn't want to have the conversation. I felt a certain kind of way. And then I was like, same thing. I'm like, I'm actually doing a disservice by not offering this like
Yes.
offering this to other people.
Mhm.
Like, if there's 6, 7 different ways to make money in this business, I want every single person on my team to know there's 6 or 7 ways to make money.
Yep.
Because it does me no good, just me you know, me work in 6, 7 different directions from this business. So I love that. Thank you so much, Nina, for coming
You're
and joining
welcome.
us. I appreciate it. You know, you can always reach out to me. We're always here.
I appreciate it.
All right, you guys.
Bye, guys.